Europe is evolving. Learn how in Parlamento.
Madhu trained to be a banker. Today he rents chairs. Business is slack in the capital of Mali. Madhu earns around 30 euros per month. But for years he hasn't found better work in Bamako. He wants to leave.
Bon, franchement, ça me plaît pas. Les études que
It doesn't suit me, frankly. With my education, I shouldn't have to be in this shop. It's just not right.
Franchement, c'est pas juste.
But what can I do? When you don't have a choice, you have to do certain things you don't want to do. That's what pushes us to venture out. If we earned a good living here, we wouldn't have to strike out. My dream is to go to Europe. That's my dream.
Mon rêve, c'est d'aller en Europe. Ça, c'est mon rêve, celui.
Mali in West Africa is considered one of the world's poorest countries. It has no access to the sea and almost no natural resources. Around 60% of the people live below the poverty line. Bamako is choked in dust and pollution. Most people try to scrape by with odd jobs. The young, above all, want to leave for the north, look for happier places in other countries in Africa or in Europe. A quarter of Malians already live abroad. Their hopes lifted a little recently when this place opened, the Information Centre for Migration Management, CIGEM. The centre is an early, tangible step in European policy to fight illegal immigration from Africa. The outgoing European Parliament got it operating last October, and it's getting approval from all the EU member states. Madhu heard about it from a friend and wants to try and find a job in Europe legitimately. He's given the centre all the relevant information about himself.
I have no job for the things I need, for myself or to provide for my family, for my parents and my brothers and sisters. I'm the eldest, I have to take care of them, so I have to work.
With whatever work he can get anywhere, Madhu wants to leave, like so many others, even though the risks are enormous, crossing deserts and the sea. The centre shows a film to give an idea of the dangers, to persuade people not to go the illegal way. They're told what the possibilities are and given advice. Madhu has a driver's license. That could help.
Nous avons un projet québécois qui doit venir.
A project from Quebec is coming here soon, if everything goes to plan. They'll be hiring some drivers. There's an opening for Mr. Dembele. I suggested it to him that the Quebecers will be here in 2009, 2010, and that we might put him forward as a candidate for that.
Il y a un projet québécois qui viendra et que nous pouvons peut-être le retenir par rapport à ça.
Madhu hasn't had a firm offer yet. The financial crisis around the world has made job chances abroad even slimmer. This recent migration management approach was put in place before recession set in, but it hasn't helped build an atmosphere of trust between the Malians and the Europeans. Suspicions linger that this is part of an EU plan to limit immigration from Africa.
Oh, it's not at all in that direction. In fact, we're here to support all the activities linked to the migration process, starting with guiding the potential migrants, starting out also with the possibility of suggesting alternatives, because the chances of legal migration at the moment are relatively limited. We talk about professional training and integration. All this shows you that we've got nothing to do with the idea of a fortress Europe, the idea that Europe is dug in behind walls and barriers.
The EU has made available €5 million for the next 5 years for Mali to use on development projects. Helping its economy is aimed at having some effect on migration. Here's an example. The EU is backing a German cooperation project in Ségou, 3 hours' drive from Bamako. This teacher has 8 apprentices. He's training them as mechanics or electricians so they can work in farming. The Malian education system isn't strong on vocational training. Almost no one learns a job at school. Mostly, know-how is passed from father to son. Most of these children from villages around Ségou have no school qualifications.
On assiste à une grande mécanisation de l'agriculture maintenant au Mali.
We're seeing a major mechanization of farming in Mali. Maintenance of all the equipment involved means we need artisans out in the countryside. The people who own the machines, especially motorized pumps, have a lot of problems. They're always having to come to the big cities to find a mechanic or a welder to go and repair stuff. That's where the basic idea came from, to set up a training center.
For most of the time, these apprentices are in their villages, in the workshops of the professionals who have taken them on. In Ségou, they're taught basic theory. This is 19-year-old Mousou's first day here.
My father told me being a mechanic would be the job of the future. I could do a lot of things with this training. I'm learning a lot. I could earn my own money and help my family in the village.
The projects are a starting out point to help develop the country, but they're not enough, according to this minister.
Accélérer le développement, c'est faire en sorte que les pays développés.
Accelerating development will need developed countries to mobilize 0.7% of their GDP.
Et qui contribuerait certainement, eh bien,
that would definitely contribute to more important means for our development program framework. Helping us also means taking account of the priorities which we ourselves have singled out.
Des priorités que nous-mêmes nous dégageons dans le cadre de notre développement.
There are still far too few alternatives to emigrating for young people to look for ways to earn a living. Mousso feels lucky. He wants to stay, if possible, working in his village machine shop. All he used to dream about was leaving for Europe.